Hi, I'm an assistant principal at a pre-K through 8 school, and I'm here to give you some quick and easy tips on how to make sure that your kiddo is going to be ready for kindergarten. Did you know that more and more kiddos are showing up for kindergarten unprepared in 3 huge areas: social emotional development, numeracy, and literacy development? That might sound really big, but it really is simple, and it can be boiled down into a few easy steps. And so I'm going to give you some hacks on how to make sure your kiddo is ready for kindergarten. The first thing, one of the many things that they are screened on when they get to kindergarten, is in their social emotional development. And one of those pieces has to do with their self-control of feelings and behaviors. And that has to do with particularly how well does your kiddo persist through activities that are challenging or frustrating, right? So this is going to happen in different ways. When you have a 1 or a 2-year-old, they're going to probably get pretty frustrated pretty easily. And then by the time they're 3 or 4, with working through with them and giving them some prompts and cues, you can, hope that they actually get to the point where they are okay with obstacles, they're okay with frustrations, and they can work through them on their own. And the kids who show up for kindergarten able to do that are very successful, and they're ready to learn a lot more early. So what are some things that you can do? How can you do this at your house, right? Encourage them to play with toys with interlocking pieces like railroads and roads and trains. As they're manipulating that, that's also really good for their physical fine motor development. So they're manipulating these pieces. They're like, I can't do it. And instead of just doing it for them, because we don't like our kiddos to be frustrated, instead try, you can do it. It's hard, but you know what? That's how we learn. Learning is hard, but that's okay. We try again. We try again. We try again. Just encourage trying and trying and trying. Same thing with puzzles. Working through puzzles can be very frustrating, right? But it's also one of the best ways to get your kids to think through and problem solve on their own. So you're working with your kiddo on a puzzle, you're talking about strategies, like what do we do first? What are corner pieces? This is probably gonna be more of like your 3 to 4-year-old. What are corner pieces? Can we pull out the corner pieces? And then ask them open-ended questions and encourage them to figure it out on their own, and really resist the urge to find those pieces for them, because the goal is not to have a beautifully finished puzzle, right? The goal is in the process, that through doing that puzzle, your kiddo is learning so many amazing things. They're learning that good things take time and patience, right? You can give them that support as they're working through that puzzle by asking them things like, don't you love how puzzles help us learn patience? Don't you think it's interesting how we don't get it right the first time? We have to move things around and flip it a different way, try a different way, right? And then at the end, doesn't it feel good at the end, all that hard work, and you're just getting them to reflect on the process and embracing challenge and hard work as actually something that's good and not something that we want to just get rid of and erase, right? So those are all things that you could do. Another one that they have on our kindergarten readiness screener has to do with putting beads onto a necklace, right? You can make that harder by saying, what kind of a pattern could you make on these beads, right? So maybe when they're 1 or 2, we're really just kind of working on that fine motor development. But when they get to be 3 and 4, we talk about what a pattern is, we let them design their own pattern, and then we see if they can execute it on their own. And if they can't, give them assistance, right? Not doing it for them, but encouraging them and helping them figure it out on their own. So that's just one life hack on how you can help your kiddo become a more persistent kid who's going to push through challenges and not run away from challenges, which actually is going to help them beyond kindergarten and in life.